They never saw this coming. Faith Evans, the legendary voice behind some of R&B's most timeless hits, has broken her silence with a confession so raw, so deeply personal, that it left fans in tears. For the first time, she opened up in detail about the painful, emotional, and inspiring journey of raising her son Ryder, who was diagnosed with autism. And in true Faith Evans fashion, she didn't just tell her story, she turned her family's struggle into a mission to help others walking the same difficult path. When Evans appeared on the Tamron Hall show, the room was filled with quiet anticipation. Viewers expected music talk, maybe nostalgia about her career, but what they got was something far more intimate. She revealed Ryder's story, the tears she shed while fighting for his diagnosis, the loneliness of not being heard by doctors, and the desperate need to advocate for her son when no one else was. The audience sat in stunned silence, while fans across social media rushed to share their own stories, creating an outpouring of emotion that spread like wildfire. Faith explained how Ryder, now 18, had struggled since toddlerhood with milestones most children reach easily. While she, a mother of 4, knew instinctively that something was different, professionals kept brushing her off. The words still sting when she remembers being told every child is different, just wait. But Faith knew better. With 3 children before Ryder, she was no rookie. She knew what developmental delays looked like, and she knew her son needed help, urgently. Her desperation grew with every passing day. She recalls begging for a written diagnosis, just something on paper so she could unlock the resources her son so desperately needed. At last, after relentless persistence, a doctor handed her the document. That one piece of paper changed everything. With it, she gained access to programs and therapies in California that she had been paying out of pocket for years. Relief washed over her, but so did fear. Faith admitted that fear was the emotion that consumed her more than anything else. Fear of failing Ryder. Fear of not knowing what to do next. Fear of facing a future she couldn't predict or control. And yet, from that fear was born a new kind of strength. Another parent became her first advocate, guiding her through the labyrinth of autism care, and from there, Faith's heart shifted. She realized she didn't want to keep what she was learning to herself. She wanted to create a space where families like hers could share resources, cry together, vent together, and most importantly, never feel alone again. That vision became Ryder's Room, a foundation named after her son and dedicated to supporting families with children on the autism spectrum. For Faith, this wasn't about charity for show. It was about survival, solidarity, and sharing the blueprint she wished she had when Ryder was small. The organization now stands as a beacon of hope, offering education, community, and advocacy to parents who feel abandoned by the system. But of course, where there is light, there are always whispers. Behind Faith's inspiring public mission, the gossip mill has churned. Some insiders speculate that her push to create Ryder's Room was fueled not just by altruism but also by guilt. Guilt over not catching Ryder's struggles sooner, or over the chaos of her personal life spilling into her parenting. Others whisper that the move was also a way for Faith to heal her own reputation, after years of messy headlines involving failed marriages, feuds, and industry drama. Was this truly about Ryder, or was it also about redemption? Yet when Faith speaks about Ryder, all those rumors fall silent. Her love for her son cuts through the noise like her powerful voice once cut through every R&B track. She describes Ryder's humor, his quirks, his teenage antics that leave her both laughing and shaking her head. Ryder is funny, she told Tamron Hall, grinning as she revealed how he constantly steals her phone, pretending to lose his own just so he can scroll through her Instagram. And what exactly is he looking for? According to Faith, Ryder has a very specific taste. He's drawn to voluptuous women, something his mother shares with both amusement and exasperation. This glimpse into Ryder's personality melted hearts across the internet. Fans flooded social media with love, celebrating Ryder not as a label or diagnosis, but as a vibrant young man with his own charm, humor, and unique perspective. The story shifted from tragedy to triumph, reminding the world that autism is not a sentence, it is simply a different path. Still, the journey wasn't without heartbreak. Faith confessed that the early years were some of the darkest of her life. The struggle to find answers, the endless waiting lists, and the frustration of medical professionals dismissing her concerns left her drained. Many parents of autistic children echoed the same in online forums after her interview aired. "Faith just said everything I've been through," wrote one mother, begging doctors to listen, crying at night, then finally finding out we weren't crazy. In a way, Faith became the voice not just for herself, but for thousands who had been silenced. Her fight didn't stop with Ryder's diagnosis, it extended to ensuring her son had access to therapies, education, and social opportunity. It extended to making sure the Black community, where conversations about autism are often hushed or overlooked, had representation and advocacy. Faith knew firsthand how cultural stigma could add another layer of isolation for families. That's why Ryder's Room wasn't just about resources. It was about breaking down walls of silence and shame. This weekend, Faith will take another bold step by hosting the inaugural Ryder's Room Gala, a star-studded event aimed at raising funds and awareness. Friends, fellow celebrities, and supporters are expected to turn out in droves. Insiders whisper that some of the biggest names in R&B and hip-hop will be in attendance, offering performances and donations. It's not just a fundraiser. It's a declaration that autism awareness belongs at the forefront of conversations in both Hollywood and beyond. The reactions from her celebrity peers have been nothing short of emotional. Many took to social media to commend Faith's bravery. Messages poured in from singers, actors, and even athletes who shared their own connections to autism. One well-known producer tweeted, "Faith is doing what so many won't, using her platform to speak for those who can't." Another fan wrote, "This is bigger than music. This is legacy." Even Ryder's siblings, who watched the journey unfold from childhood to now, have voiced their pride. While Faith has kept much of her children's lives private, insiders close to the family say Ryder's brothers and sisters see the foundation as a reflection of their mother's strength and love. One source claimed, "They know what she sacrificed for Ryder, and now they see her giving back to other families." It's powerful. And yet, with every powerful move, the whispers return. Some skeptics question whether this new chapter is Faith's way of rewriting her narrative after years in the tabloids for failed marriages, her stormy relationship with Stevie J, and past controversies that painted her as trouble. But her supporters clap back with equal intensity. Isn't growth the point? Isn't turning pain into purpose what resilience looks like? Faith Evans, once defined by her chart-topping records and the drama of her personal life, is now reshaping her legacy, not through music alone, but through advocacy, honesty, and a foundation that bears her son's name. Ryder's journey, once shrouded in fear and confusion, is now a beacon for countless families navigating the same storm. As the gala approaches and Ryder's Room gains traction, one thing is clear: Faith Evans is no longer just singing about love. She is living it through every tear, every fight, and every triumph she shares with her son. And while the world watches, one can't help but wonder, what's next for Ryder, for Faith, and for the families who will find hope in their story? What do you think about this news? Let us know in the comments below.